here. And again, this video is coming from a NASA airplane that we're flying around that recovery zone there, a WB-57. It's commonly used for a lot of atmospheric studies and other science missions, but able to put a tracking camera on it to try and get this re-entry through the Earth's atmosphere today. We're hearing that they should have AOS, so acquisition of signal, back with the Dragon spacecraft. Right now it's about 46 kilometers in altitude.
Yeah, so just for orientation purposes, if you've seen our launches previously, you might be familiar with the angling of this as takeoff. Reminder, this is re-entry. The plane is below the Dragon spacecraft and the camera's looking upward as it's coming over the spacecraft. So it looks like from the orientation of the imagery there that Dragon is going up when in fact it is still coming back down towards Earth.
And again, just keeping you on the timeline, so we actually acquired signal about a minute ahead of when it was expected, where we're going to be looking for those initial drogue chute deployments at about 41 minutes after the hour. So after Dragon gets a little bit lower down, we're going to be keeping an eye out. You're going to see the drogue chutes deploy initially, followed by those 4 main parachutes, much larger and able to slow the vehicle down for a much softer splashdown in the ocean.
We should be getting that drogue chute deployment in just about 2 minutes now.
And just heard that we're now below 30 kilometers. And if you're just now tuning in, this is Dragon. This is Dragon coming home. This is from a camera on board a chase plane there at the landing zone over the Atlantic, about 200 or so nautical miles off the coast of Florida. We're under 30 kilometers, continuing to descend. The next milestone we're going to be looking for is parachute deployment. And hearing we're now about 20 kilometers in altitude. The Dragon spacecraft continuing to descend. It's now subsonic, so already starting to slow down thanks to the aerobraking, basically slamming into that Earth's atmosphere, causes a lot of friction and allows the vehicle to eventually reach its terminal velocity, basically. And then those parachutes are going to kick in.
So there you have visual confirmation of the deployment of our drogue parachutes. This is the first of 2 parachute deployments.
So those drogue chutes do the initial slowing, and then they're ultimately going to pull out the 4 main parachutes responsible for really slowing the spacecraft down prior to that splashdown.
You can hear cheering here at SpaceX headquarters as the employees that have gathered around our Mission Control Center are sharing the same view as you. What a gorgeous shot of Dragon coming back down.
And here come the mains.
Seconds, we will see those main parachutes exactly like that begin to expand as they capture more air, further decelerating the Dragon vehicle down to the Atlantic Ocean. You really can't ask for a more picture-perfect shot than that.
And yes, all 4 chutes now deployed. It's going to continue to descend. It's going to continue to slow down and then ultimately splash down in the Atlantic there. We're now under a kilometer in altitude. Just about 750 meters to go.
In case if you're just joining us, you can see on your screen there, Dragon has just re-entered the Earth's atmosphere after departing from the International Space Station. We have a gorgeous shot of 4 healthy parachutes deployed and slowing the vehicle down as it is approaching the surface of the Atlantic Ocean off the coast of Florida.
And it's continuing to descend under those chutes. We just passed 500 meters. Everything continuing to look good via reports to all the flight control teams. Now we're at about 400 meters. And just passing 300 meters, continuing to descend. We might be right on time. We were planning on splashing down at about 5:45 a.m. Pacific, and we're getting real close to that bingo time. Just past 200 meters.
And we have confirmation that Dragon is now under 100 meters, is 100 meters above the surface of the ocean.
So next up, standing by for splashdown.
And there we have confirmation of splashdown. Dragon has returned to planet Earth. It is now back home, and you can see on your screen our 2 fast boats racing out to the capsule, now in recovery.
That splashdown came right on time, 5:45 a.m. Pacific, 8:45 a.m. over on the East Coast. The teams that have been ready and waiting, they were staged just a few nautical miles away. They're going to start moving in now. You can see those 2 fast approach boats already speeding their way towards the capsule.
While there's still a little bit more work to be done at this point, like we said, the recovery team has to safe the vehicle and then lift it onto the recovery vessel. However, obviously by the excited cheers here at Mission Control, the splashdown is an enormous event for us in terms of the safe re-entry, or excuse me, the safe return to Earth from the International Space Station.
That's right, and you'll notice 2 boats on their way. 1 boat actually responsible for beginning to safe the vehicle and get it ready to go up onto the boat. The other one's going to go off and collect those parachutes as those 4 main chutes actually get jettisoned away from the spacecraft as soon as the vehicle detects that it's splashed down in the water. But if you missed it, I'm really sorry, because that was really cool to see. But Dragon did splash down at 5:45 a.m. Pacific time, 8:45 a.m. over there on the East Coast, where they're now moving in on a Dragon spacecraft in the water, ready to recover it.
Exactly. So like we said, the recovery team has been ready and waiting for a Dragon splashdown. It's been quite the morning. evening. Dan and I have been here since yesterday night, bringing you coverage from Dragon departure from the International Space Station now all the way down to splashdown. So it's a great next milestone, and we are excited to bring you coverage of the recovery operations as well. But we have a few minutes before that happens, so we're going to take a break momentarily, and we will continue bringing coverage as the recovery operations progress.
So we're going to take a quick break from the operations because right now we have Benji Reed. He's the director of the Commercial Crew Mission Management here at SpaceX. Benji, first off, congratulations. Successful splashdown, successful end of demo 1. What's it been like to watch through this mission? What are your thoughts? What are you looking forward to? Have you had a chance to catch your breath?
No, but I'm super excited. Thank you for having me up here. To be honest, I'm kind of shaking, and I'm super, excited. It was an incredible journey to get to this moment. The teams have just done an amazing job, both the SpaceX and the NASA teams jointly. It's fundamentally, this is like a great day for the nation, for SpaceX, for NASA, for all of us, really for the world. I think it was Ann who said this is the first time in 40 years that we have a spacecraft designed for humans to fly. And not only did she fly and go to the space station, do everything she was supposed to do, but we brought her home safe and sound, landing here in the Atlantic. Just amazing. I can't believe how well the whole mission has gone. Pretty much, I think on every point, everything's been nailed all the way along. Particularly this last piece, we're all very excited to see as we go through re-entry and parachute, drogue deployed, and main deploy. Splashdown, everything happened just perfectly, right on time, the way that we expected it to.
Almost
Beautiful.
down to the second.
Almost down to the second, right?
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
And so, as a team, SpaceX, we're here, we're just super honored to have the opportunity to have done this mission, to have worked with NASA, to work through this. And Demo 1 is fundamentally this first major milestone in our process towards certification. I always like to remind everybody that this is a whole system, right? There's Crew Dragon, but there's the Falcon that's going to be certified to fly humans. There's also all the ground systems, the operations, our entire factory and production system. Everything that we do is being certified to be able to fly astronauts safely. And this is a huge step towards that. As we kind of look back over what happened over the last few days, which seems incredible to me, and really it's the culmination of years of work to get us just to this day. We had launch, Crew Dragon deployed, beautiful free flight. One of the things that's hard to test when you're on the ground is how fluids work in microgravity. So things like the prop system and all of the propulsion, and what's amazing is that worked perfectly, just like we expected. We got to station, we docked, and it's the first time I think in history that a commercial vehicle and also an American vehicle has docked autonomously to the International Space Station. So that's just super cool. Loaded with all kinds of sensors, all kinds of tests that we did. We met Ripley.
Yeah.
We got to see, she's loaded with sensors so we can understand exactly all the forces that'll happen on the crew as they come, as they're launched and then sent to station and come home. We got to meet the little Earth guy. I heard he's going to stay on station.
Yep.
And so that'll be for Bob and Doug to retrieve. So that's really exciting. Undocking, of course, some more free flight, and then we came home. Jettisoned the trunk, closed the nose cone, and then again, like I said, just beautiful parachute deployment. Everything the way we expected. All of these gazillions of tests that we've been doing on parachutes. All of the analysis and work that we've done on understanding the aerodynamics of reentry and coming home, everything's just wonderful. the important thing now is we take all of this data that we've learned.
We love data.
And we love data, right? I mean, fundamentally, we're engineers and engineering-driven behavior, right? It's what we got to do. So we take all that great data, and we're going to apply that to the next steps. So what's coming up next? I think, because believe it or not, as excited and like still shaking as I am about this return, there's a lot more to do, right? Because our ultimate goal is to be able to continue to staff space station, right, and provide astronauts rides up to space, give them a safe place to be, a safe place to come home in, and do crew rotations every 6 months. So how do we get there? So we finished Demo 1, huge milestone. Next up, we take that data, we apply it, we learn from it, and we're going to go to our in-flight abort test, similar to that pad abort test that we did a few years ago. Except this time we put the Dragon, it'll actually be the same Dragon that we flew on Demo 1. We're going to take that and put it on top of a Falcon 9, launch it, get it going super fast, get it to test conditions, and then escape it off of the rocket, and again do the same thing, bring it home safely on its parachutes, land it in the ocean. And then from there, after we get that done, we go to Demo 2. And that's kind of like, wow, that's the big prize, right? Because that's going to be sending Bob and Doug, you know, our astronauts and our partners and our friends, sending them up on Dragon, taking them to the station safely, bringing them home safely. And then with that done, we'll go through final full certification and start those 6-month rotation missions, which we're just also excited about. You know, it's important to take a step back and think about all of what it took to get here, all the work from all the joint teams, NASA and SpaceX, all the support that we've had from friends and family, and really I think the most important thing is that on behalf of all of the 6,000 people here at SpaceX, we really want to thank NASA, we want to thank the space station, the international partners, and thank the American public for their support and partnership as we go through this. We're really proud to be part of this endeavor.
Thank you for being here with us. It is early Friday morning here in Hawthorne, so for those of us that work here at SpaceX, we still got a full workday going, and obviously we've already been working on Demo 2 for a while, even though today was the Demo 1 day, so I'm sure that you, like me, will continue our work on Demo 2 for the rest of the day.
I'm going into meetings to start talking about the next steps that we've already been working on Demo 2. So.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much for being here with us. Congratulations to your team as well on the success of the last week. Really, it's been awesome for us to be able to share the hard work of all SpaceX employees with the public. So with that being said, thanks for being here. We're going to take a quick break as we bring you more coverage of the recovery operations, which you can see is ongoing on your screen there on the left. So stick around, we'll be back in just a couple.